Scan the body from the thoughts all the way down to the toes, whilst breathing smoothly and fully. Taking a moment on the inhale to raise the shoulders up, and then allow the chest to come forward as you bring the shoulders down. Taking a deep inhalation through the nose, filling the lungs completely. And slowly exhaling through the nose gently. Keeping the breath intentional, allowing each inhalation to be full for the lungs. Inhale. And slowly, gently exhale. One more round, inhaling fully. And exhaling slowly. Dropping the chin down towards the chest. On the inhalation, take the right ear towards the right shoulder. Allow the head to dip back, chin to come up. Left ear towards left shoulder. And chin back down towards the chest. Reversing the direction towards the left ear to left shoulder. Head back, chin up. Right ear, right shoulder. Chin back towards the chest. Once more towards the right ear, right shoulder, head back. Left ear, left shoulder, chin towards chest. Left ear, left shoulder, chin up. Right ear, right shoulder, chin back towards the center of the chest. Lifting the gaze out in front, allowing the eyes to open, taking those shoulders and moving them up, back and down, and continuing the rotations from the front to the back, allowing the movement to become larger, more freeing, allowing the elbows to move into it. Pausing next time the shoulders reach back, and reversing the direction forward, allowing the upper back to round gently as you bring the shoulders front to the back. Finding neutral, shoulders back, chest forward, chin slightly up. Allow the arms to come out to a T, palms facing down. And then flip the palms up. Allow the fingertips to come up towards the sky and stretch tall, feeling as if you're being pulled by your fingertips. Interlace the fingers, flip the palms away from you, gazing up at the thumbs. Allow those hands to come out in front of you as you round the back, gaze at the navel, and push away from the body. Inhaling back up, gazing at the fingertips. As the exhale, bring those interlaced fingers to the back of the head. Inhale brings the elbows out, open, chest forward, gazing up. Exhale, bringing the elbows closer to one another, gazing at the navel, curling in. Inhale, opening up one more time. Exhale, curling in, shifting that gaze towards the navel. Keeping the elbows coming towards one another. We're going to drop down with the elbows towards the right knee. We're going to trace a big circle with those elbows all the way towards the left. Keeping the elbows still close together. We're going to open the chest up towards the sky. Come upright. And then dip down towards the right, bringing those elbows with us to the right knee. And once again, following a little circle all the way to the left. Opening the chest up. Rising up. Dropping over towards the right. Into center. And then reversing the direction towards the right. Center. And dropping down towards the left. One more time. And last rotation towards the right. Next time you're down in the center, you're going to reach up, the body. Extend the elbows wide, gazing up. And release those hands out to the side, palms facing down and down and down. Fingertips on the ground. We're going to take the left hand over to the right knee and take the right hand, palm facing down at the base of the spine. And twist to shift the gaze towards the back of the room. Keeping the hands exactly where they are. Shift the gaze towards the front. And then pick up that right hand. Bring it over to the left knee. We're going to make some small circles, 3 small circles over towards the left. Arms crossed in front of our body. Next time you're upright, switch the direction from the left to the right this time, 3 times. Neutral position, keeping the right hand on the left knee. You're going to take that left hand and bring it behind the body, dropping the palm down to the ground. Twist the gaze back to the back of the room, looking over the shoulder. Keeping the hands where they are, shift the gaze towards the front. And pick up that left hand, bring it over to the right knee, and then make 3 small circles, starting at the left towards the right. And then reverse the circles 3 times in the opposite direction. And neutral, releasing those hands, stretching them out wide to the side, palms facing up, chest up towards the sky. Arms up, palms together, bringing through the midline of the body, and releasing. Palms up or palms down, whichever feels comfortable for you. Going to make large circles, freeing circles in either direction with our body, allowing the elbows to come stretched out as you dip down, perhaps bringing the shoulders with you. Continuing the circles, allowing the movements to be as freeing as is available for your body in this moment. Last one, and then switch the direction. Finding stillness in the center. Going to take that right leg and pick it up and cradle it within our arms. We can go for holding either the shin or interlacing the fingers around the leg. So we rock the leg from side to side, from front to back, allowing the hip to feel some freedom and movement. Tracing large circles either direction with that interlaced grip around the leg, and then reversing the direction. Finding stillness, tall spine, and bring that leg towards the center of the body. Releasing your fingers, holding onto the shin with the right hand, taking the left hand, going for the outer blade of that right foot, and slipping that right arm underneath the leg, bringing the leg over the shoulder. You take the right palm, place it on the ground, and work on extending the leg out towards the right, toes pointed up, shifting the gaze up, chest up. Keeping that leg draped over that right shoulder, keeping it as high as comfortable. Extend that left leg out in front of us. Place the hands onto the ground and work on pushing into the palms as you raise the bottom portion of the body up off the mat, gazing out in front of you. Releasing yourself back down towards the mat, taking that leg back into your arms cradling it 1 or 2 more times, and then releasing that leg into a number 4 upon your extended leg. Your ankle dangling over the left knee, allowing the knee to go down as comfortably as possible. Nice tall spine, inhaling here, and exhale, leading first with the belly towards the thigh. Allow ourselves to fold forward over the extended leg. Keeping the gaze on front of us at the toes, toes pointing up towards the face. Inhaling, lifting the upper body up, allowing his hands to inch you back. Taking that right leg that's still bent at the knee, we're going to place the sole of the right foot on the outside of the left thigh. We're going to take that left arm, cross in front of the body, allowing that left elbow to come to the right knee, keeping the hand up, allowing the pressure to twist you to gaze towards the back of the room. Right hand comfortably resting on the mat for support. Staying here or adding in a bind by taking that left hand and threading it through that little hole that's created with the legs, and allowing the right hand to come behind the body, going for either the fingertips or the wrist, and twist as you gaze towards the back of the room. Shifting the gaze back towards the front, releasing the hands, releasing the leg long out in front of you, shaking the legs if you'd like a little bit of release, and then bringing the sole of the right foot in and picking up the left leg and cradling it within your arms. It's again either holding onto the shin or releasing your fingers around the leg. Take a moment here to open up the leg, left to right, rocking more into allowing the knee to come behind you. Large circles. And reversing the direction of those circles. Finding stillness, tall spine, bringing that leg closer to the midline of the body. Remembering to breathe fully and completely. Releasing your interlaced fingers, bringing the right hand to the outer blade of the left foot. We're going to take the left arm now, slide it beneath the left leg, placing the hand down onto the ground to the left of us, and extending that left leg up as we gaze up, allowing the chest to open up. Shifting the gaze back out in front of us, releasing the foot, extending that left leg out in front of us, hands coming down towards the mat. Inhaling here as we lift the right leg up off the ground, elephant's trunk. Release back down towards the ground. So again, take that leg, bring it in close to the body, and then place that left ankle onto the right leg to allow the ankle to drape over the knee. Nice tall spine here. Inhale. And exhale, folding from the waist over that extended leg, sending the arms out in front of you, palms down, toes coming towards the face, and release, folding over that extended leg. Inhaling up, bring those fingertips up. We're going to take the sole of the left foot and place it to the outside of the right thigh. Right elbow outside of left knee as you twist over towards the left, shifting the gaze behind you. Left palm and fingertips on the ground for support. Staying here, going for a bind by slipping those right fingers through the little hole, going for either the wrist or the fingertips of that hand behind the body. Shifting the gaze back towards the front, releasing the twist, and releasing that left leg long in front of you, shaking the legs out, and then bring the soles of the feet together in front of you, allowing the knees to fall gently open to either side, taking the hands and putting them on the blades of your feet, allowing the shoulders to come back and chest forward, taking a deep inhale here, and exhale as you fold, leaning with the belly towards the feet, chest down towards the mat, and then chin down, gazing out in front. The inhale can bring you up slightly, and the exhale brings you down. 2 more times, inhaling here, and exhaling down. Last time, inhale, exhale. Staying down wherever you are, releasing those hands and releasing them behind the back. Inhale the arms up, and exhaling, feeling heavy. The inhale brings you up, leading with the interlaced hands. Exhaling here, finding a nice tall spine, and bringing those interlaced fingers clasped together to the right side of the body at waist level. Bringing them over to the left now. And one more time towards the right. To the left. To the center at the base of the spine, allowing the hands to pull away from the body as you gaze up. And allow those hands to come up, up, up behind the back. And release. Hands to your tops of your knees. And we're going to make circles towards the left. The hands on the knees. Inhaling as you come back. Exhaling as you come forward. Neutral in the center and reverse the direction. 3 circles towards the right. And stillness. Could extend the legs out into a much more wider diamond shape. Soles of the feet still touching one another. Could take those hands to the ground on either side of the feet. Allow them to walk forward. As you walk forward, the belly reaches down towards the ground. Chest follows. And then the chin. Gazing out in front. Allowing yourself to lift up, hands to slide back to a nice neutral position. Bringing those legs closer to the body, crossing them in front of you. Bringing the hands to either side. And then walking those right fingertips away from the body, placing the palm down on the ground. Allowing the left arm to come up and over, shifting the gaze up towards the fingertips. Allowing that left hand to reach back down towards the ground, fingertips walking away from the body, palm down, forearm down, right arm up and over, gazing at the fingertips of the body. Inhaling back up. One more time on either side, right fingertips walking away from the body, hand down, forearm down, right arm up and over, gazing at the fingertips, rotating the chest up. Holding here for a breath or 2. Being mindful always of your breath. Inhaling up, walking those left fingertips out away from the body, dropping down, right arm up and over. Rotating the chest, open up towards the sky. And the inhale brings you back up. Allowing those fingertips to walk out in front of the body. Allowing first the thighs and the belly to meet, then the chest down towards the mat, chin down towards the mat, gazing out in front of you between the palms of the hands. And inhaling yourself back upright. Switching which foot is in front. Legs still crossed in front of the body. Taking that right hand behind. Left hand on the right knee. And twist. Gazing towards the back. Each set of breath allowing yourself to twist a little bit more. Releasing back to center, right hand, left knee, left hand behind, and twist, shifting the gaze towards the back. Back to center, placing the hands down on the mat, lifting yourself up, uncrossing legs behind you, and bringing yourself into a tabletop position. Shoulders over wrists, hips over the knees. And allow yourself to push the hips back towards the heels as you push your weight into the palms of the hands. Fingertips spread out from one another. And shift back forward. We're going to extend our legs back, weight onto the toes, and rock yourself forward onto the tips of the toes, and then back all the way to the heels. Not all the way into a downward facing dog, but hips up, weight into the soles of the feet, and then back out in front into a plank, and a little beyond, pushing yourself on the toes, and then back. Weight in the toes, the heels, gazing between the palms of the hands. Weight distributed between the hands, and then you're going to lift that right leg up. You're going to place the right toes crisscrossed over the left. You're going to shift that weight over to that right foot, left hand, and twist the body up, allowing the right hand to come up and over, fingertips reaching towards the ground. Reversing, right hand back down, right set of toes back down. You take that left foot, lift it up, cross it behind the right, shifting the weight into those toes, allowing the right foot to reach down onto the ground as you twist the body open. Left hand out. And reverse. Bring yourself into a plank. Weight evenly distributed between the palms and the soles of the feet. We're going to lift that right set of toes up. Bend the knee. I'm going to bring that knee over towards the right elbow. Left elbow. Curling, meeting knee to nose. And extending that leg long behind us. Repeating with the left. Picking the toes up. Bending the knee. Bring the knee over to the left elbow. Right elbow. Curling beneath, knee to nose. And extending back out. Dropping the knees down, weight still in the toes. You push those hips back towards the heels. Just comfortable dropping the elbows down to the ground, chest to the thighs, chin to the ground. Gazing out in front. And inhaling back up. Inhale, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze up. Exhale, dropping the gaze down towards the navel and arching back up. Inhale, gaze up, belly down. Exhale, rounding the back, shifting the gaze out the navel. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Inhale back to neutral. extending those legs long behind you. Weight in the hands, in the feet. You're going to take those hips and we're going to rotate them down towards the ground, hovering about a few inches off the ground, gazing out in front of you. Back to neutral. Hips over towards the left. Neutral. Right. Back to neutral. Dropping the hips towards the left. Neutral. And now we're going to drop the hips down, but we're actually going to drop the hips all the way down. We're going to take that left foot, bend it at the knee, and place the foot on the inside of the right thigh. You're going to bring yourself up, elevate it on your right fingertips. Left arm's going to be out, pushing into that knee. Gazing out in front. And releasing the hand down. Lifting yourself back up. You should be now on your left toes and on your right toes, almost as if you were going to sprint forward. You're going to push back, allowing that right sole of the foot to come down towards the ground, right foot down on the ground. You're going to lift yourself up, arms up, allowing yourself to back bend here. Fingertips leading you slowly back down towards the mat, hands at the top of the mat, allowing that left knee to bend all the way down to the ground, bringing the foot out towards the right, towards the hip, lowering that right knee down to the ground, extending that right foot out behind you, fingernails on the ground. Taking a moment to breathe here, and taking those hands and moving them slightly out to the sides, as you lift up, finding where you have that active buoyancy in the hips. Have this be an active pigeon where you're working to keep yourself up instead of just dipping down. You want to find nice neutral hips as if they are headlights pointing forward. And then as you exhale, allow yourself to melt down over that leg. Bringing the arms down, keeping the gaze out in front of you. Keeping an active posture. Breathing fully, slowly, and exhaling the same. A few more breaths here. If you'd like to lower down deeper, you can take the hands in front of the body and allow your forehead or chin to rest on your arms. Inhaling yourself up, replacing the hands back at the top of the mat, fingertips spread apart, lifting up, curling the right toes beneath the body, lifting that knee, pushing into the palms of the hands, really active left leg here. Bring that knee up off the ground and bring it back down towards the mat. Be in a high plank here. And you're going to rotate the feet over to point towards the right. So lower that hip down. You're going to bend the right knee, bring the sole of the foot to the outside of the left thigh. Bring that right arm over to meet the knee and twist. Dropping your hand down to the mat, fingertips spread. Going to rotate onto those toes. Both sets of toes could be pushing into the ground. Going to push back, both feet firmly placed on the ground. Going to lift up, arms up, gaze up, allowing a back bend here. And then slowly allow those hands to come back down towards the mat. Bringing your knee down towards the ground, extending those toes away from the body, hips towards the heel, dropping that left knee down, extending the toes out, finger toes of the left foot down on the ground. Feeling tall here, finding that active posture once again here, where you're just kind of like buoyant, as if you're like a buoy in the water. Your hip bones straight out in front of you, feeling nice and strong here, and then allowing yourself to sink down, stretching those arms out long in front of you. Keeping it active, keeping the gaze out in front of you. Bring those arms in closer and allowing the head to go down lower. Inhaling the gaze here, placing those hands, fingertips spread wide. Push into those hands. You're going to tuck those left toes onto the mat behind you, lifting that left knee up off the ground, engaging the body, engaging the core, and then lifting that right knee, still bent, up off the mat, and sliding it back, toes down behind you. Shifting into a high plank, slowly bending at the elbows to chaturanga. Slowly allowing yourself to go all the way down to the ground, onto your belly. Once you reach the ground, chin down on the mat, taking those hands and interlacing them behind the body, and then allowing those hands to feel as if they would be pulled back behind you. Inhale, you're going to allow those hands to pull back as you lift the chest up, allowing yourself to push into the legs, into the thighs, lifting the upper body off the mat, gazing out in front of you and slightly up. Making sure to breathe here deeply, slowly, fully inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. One more, inhaling. Strong body, slow breath. Exhaling, allowing yourself to exhale slowly down towards the mat, releasing those hands, palms facing up, allowing yourself to feel supported by the ground. Going to bend both knees, bringing the heels towards the hips. Going to take those hands and go for the feet, the tops of the feet. And the inhale, going to take a nice hold, bringing yourself up. Exhale, lowering the upper portion of the body down towards the mat, chin on the mat, and then bring those heels down towards the hips. Allowing each set of breath to allow those hips to melt down a little lower towards the heels and the hips, meeting one another. Gently relaxing your grasp just a little bit, and then bringing those feet to touch as you extend the legs, the knees out to either side, bringing the feet almost as if they were like in prayer pose, like your hands would be, but with the feet, bringing the knees as far as you need to make that happen. Holding on to the ankles, allowing the upper body to rock up as you inhale, pulling on your ankles with the hands, feeling the feet energetically strong, pushing into one another. Taking a few cycles of breath here. Shifting the gaze up and up. And gently releasing the body down towards the mat. Releasing those hands. And then releasing those feet away. Allowing the legs to come down towards the mat. Taking those hands and placing them on the ground behind you. Bringing those feet towards the mat. And pushing yourself up and back. Hips towards the heels. Big toes touch. Chin down. Gazing out in front. Elevating yourself onto the palms. Creating space between the ground and the elbows. You can take that right arm up. Fingertips up, gaze up. Exhale, we're going to take that arm, we're going to thread it underneath the left, allowing the fingertips to walk us away, and right ear down towards the mat. Allowing yourself to feel supported by the ground as you melt also your hips towards your heels and twisting the gaze up towards the sky. Gazing out in front, releasing that arm, bring that right arm back up one more time, fingertips up towards the side, and exhale down onto the mat, fingertips spread wide, elbow off the mat, inhaling that left arm up, fingertips up, gaze up, and then exhale, you're going to thread that left arm underneath the right, allowing those fingertips to walk you away, and then dropping left ear to left to the mat as you gaze up, hips towards the heels. Inhaling that gaze to neutral, left arm up towards the sky, gazing at the fingertips, and exhaling that palm back down towards the ground, allowing yourself to have those hips melting down towards the heels, big toes touching, knees open to either side wide. And then elevating onto your arms, big toes still touching, bringing those hips forward. And then slowly allowing the belly and the chest to go down towards the mat. Soles of the feet touching one another. Butt slightly up, hips slightly up. Chin down. Lifting the chest, pushing into those arms, shifting the weight back, hips towards heels, and then allowing those arms to move you up. You can bring the knees close together, touch one another. I'm going to shift the weight forward onto the knees, tuck the toes behind you, and bring yourself now to bring the soles of the feet down to the ground, wrapping your arms around your legs, and hugging yourself in, dropping the forehead down towards the knees. Inhaling the gaze out in front of you, using your hands for support. You're going to walk those feet wide to the outer edges of your mat. We're going to elevate onto our toes. Once here, we're going to find a nice tall spine here, bringing the hands to heart center, or utilizing them on the ground for support as needed. And then we're going to walk to the front of the mat, elevated on our toes. Once we reach the top of the mat, we're going to bring those arms to the insides of our elbows and stretch out, elevating onto our toes. Bring those hands back to heart center, lifting up, nice tall spine. We're going to walk ourselves on our toes to the back of the mat. Once you reach the back of the mat, we're going to drop those heels down, dropping our arms out to the inside of those legs, allowing our elbows to push into the insides of the knees. Take those hands, dropping them to either side on the fingertips, and feeling stretched in the hips, in the arms, in the shoulders, gazing out in front of us. Bring those hands back to heart center. And now, we're going to elevate the chest back up, nice tall spine, and we're going to walk to the front of the mat now on the entire sole of the foot. As you reach the front, take a breath. And last section, we're going to walk to the back of the mat. Take a moment to pause here, dropping those arms on the insides of the knees one more time, pressing into those knees with the arms, dropping that right hand down to the ground, left hand up, fingertips up, gazing up. Staying here, going for a bind around that leg, going for either the fingertips or wrapping the right hand around the left wrist, twisting up to gaze up at the sky. Staying here and opening up, or allowing the toes to point into the same direction out in front of you, shifting the weight onto the feet, more weight into the left sole of the foot, elevating onto those right toes, and then inhaling up to a garland pose. Finding a nice tall stability here, gazing out in front. And then slowly, gently bring yourself back down towards the mat. Reversing your movements, opening back out. Palms to heart center. And then bouncing out to the left hand down, right fingertips up. Interlacing the fingers, or going for the bind with the wrist. Shifting the gaze up towards the sky. Staying here, or shifting the toes to point out in front. Extending the knees just slightly. Weight into the right sole of the foot. Onto the left toes. Inhaling up. Nice, strong, stable right standing leg. Tall spine, smooth breath. And gently lowering back down, reversing your movements. Lowering the hands down to the mat and allowing yourself to gently lower yourself down all the way, extending the legs long out in front of you. Toes pointing towards the body, hinging from the waist. Inhaling and exhaling as if you were like a door frame. Allowing first the belly and the thighs to meet. Once the belly and the thighs meet, taking those hands and walking them down your legs towards the toes. And as your fingers reach the soles of the feet, you can pull the bottoms of your feet with your hands. So you gently bend the elbows, shifting the gaze out in front of you at the toes as you melt down over those legs. It can be kind of like a little caterpillar, allowing the inhalations to lift you up and the exhalations to lower you down. Releasing those hands long, allowing the fingertips to point away from the body. Active, active, active. And then allowing those arms, inhaling up. Fingertips pointing up towards the sky. And then gently releasing those arms down. Placing the hands firmly into the ground, fingertips pointing out in front. Going to take those shoulders and roll them back and down. Nice, open chest. Pointing forward. Pushing into the palms. Active legs, toes pointing towards the face. And chin down towards the chest. Gazing down in the direction of the navel. releasing, feeling free in your body, rotating your ankles out. Bring those toes towards the body, pointing them away from the body. Every time, bring those toes towards the face and pointing them away. Bringing those feet in close to the body. So again, wrapping your arms around your legs, hugging in tight, dropping the forehead down towards the knees. And inhaling up. Releasing your arms, crossing your legs in front of you, allowing those arms to move out in front of the body, dropping the chest and the chin and the gaze down. Raising that gaze up, allowing the hands to gently just slide back towards the body. And allowing yourself to keep sliding back, back, taking those arms and placing the elbows down on the ground. And allowing yourself to lower down, to have the back on the ground as well. Bringing those knees up, uncrossing the ankles, soles of the feet down on the ground. And then bringing those legs into the body, hugging the knees in towards the chest. Hands on top of the knees. We're going to make circles. The right knee to the right, left knee to the right. Soles of the feet touching, keeping the big toes connected. Just going to make these big circles with our knees. Inhale as you open the knees out to the sides. And exhaling as you bring the knees closer in towards the body. Next time the knees are out wide, bring the soles of the feet to touch. Take those hands and wrap them around your ankles. And as you pull on the ankles, imagine that you're pulling the knees away from the body. Bringing those soles of the feet closer to the ground as you pull on the ankles. The knees pointing down towards the ground. And then allowing those knees to come closer back towards the body, taking those hands to the outside edges of those knees. And then bring those knees close to the body, slightly out towards the armpits. And then releasing the soles of the feet up towards the sky. As you move those hands to the outer edges of the soles of the feet, driving those knees down to the ground near the armpits. Finding stillness here or taking an opportunity to rock from left to right, bringing the knees down to touch the ground. Finding stillness. Releasing your arms, bringing those knees closer together to one another. Extending the arms out to a T, palms facing down. We're going to place the feet down on the ground. Elevate our hips up. Bring the hips slightly over towards the left. Bringing those knees back closer towards the body and allowing the knees to come over towards the right as you shift the gaze over towards the left. Keeping both of your shoulders firmly down into the ground, gazing over towards the left fingertips. You can take that right hand, bring it to the rib cage. As you twist the rib cage over towards the right. Keep the gaze going towards the left. Releasing that right arm back out to your T. Inhaling the knees up, dropping the feet down, finding your center, and then allowing those the hips to elevate and come out towards the right, knees in towards the midline of the body, and then tipping over towards the left, shifting the gaze towards the right. Hips down, both shoulders down, gazing towards the right, taking that left hand and placing it on the right rib cage and twisting open just a little more. Releasing that left arm back out, palm down to a T, shifting the gaze out in front of you, and then bringing those legs back to center, readjusting yourself to be in the middle of your mat, bringing the knees in close to the body, extending the legs up, toes pointing up, bring those arms up, fingertips pointing up towards the sky, and then extending both your arms and your legs into a straddle, allowing your arms to go as wide as the legs go, allowing the toes to point down towards the floor. Staying here in stillness or rocking yourself to allow those right toes to touch the ground. Once they reach the ground, allow yourself to rock over towards the left, allowing the arms to follow the legs. Tick-tocking back and forth a few times. And then finding nice V shape here. Feeling the upper body nicely supported on the ground. Good. Inhale those legs up. Soles, the sides of the feet touching. Fingertips pointing up. Toes pointing towards the face. Good. Exhale slowly down towards the mat. Toes pointing towards the body. Palms facing up. Allowing the heels to reach the mat. Allowing the body to feel heavy. And then taking those feet and moving them to be the width of the mat. Allowing the toes to point away from the body. And scanning yourself from the toes up. Allowing the knees to feel wiggly and free. Adjusting your hips as you need. To move any fleshy parts away. Lifting the shoulders up, allowing the mid-back to rest comfortably and then the shoulders to fall open and down towards the mat. Adjusting your arms, palms up, fingertips spread. Opening and closing your jaw, moving from side to side, releasing any held tension. Taking the eyes really, really big and squeezing them shut and then relaxing them neutral. Allowing the head to rock from side to side. And then finding stillness in the center. Allowing your breath to return to a gentle, natural breath with no forceful, deep inhalations or exhalations. Just a gentle smoothness. allowing your breath to become deeper, as if there were a balloon at the center of your body that you're consciously inhaling to completion. Filling that balloon at the center of your chest fully, expanding it out as your chest rises, and slowly exhaling, allowing that breath to move through the body, waking yourself up from the inside. Deep breaths, slow exhalations. Wiggling the fingertips of the hands, and the pinkies over towards the thumbs, and then from the thumbs over to the pinkies. Rotating your wrists. Moving your shoulders. Wiggling your toes and your ankles from side to side. Allowing the knees to bend slightly. Bringing some movement into the legs, up the thighs, towards the hips. Moving the arms and the legs. Taking an inhale and allowing those knees to come up towards the midline of the body. Wrapping the arms around your legs. Bring the forehead towards the knees. And gently rolling over to the right side. Bring the right arm underneath the head. Left hand down to the ground. Inhaling yourself up to an upright seated position at the top of the mat. Legs gently crossed in front, or bring yourself into a full lotus. Bring those toes towards the hip bones. Hands either on the tops of the knees or heart center, palms facing one another. Taking an inhalation here. And the inhale, gently dropping the chin down towards the chest. Thank you so very much. Allow me to guide you. May your day be full of compassion and kindness. Om Shanti Shanti Om. Namaste.